Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to Power Nap Live. Listen, some of y'all are stuck in the same verse of your life. The same problems, the same prayers, the same patterns, and you keep thinking and asking, why is nothing changing? But if nothing is wrong with the song, right? Then you're just refusing to get to the bridge. Because bridges don't just change the song. This week I was thinking about some of the songs that I love the most, and I thought about how impactful the bridge is to those songs. They don't just change. I think about one of the ones that popped into my mind was when I think it's what is that song? She goes, and the award for the best lie goes to you. And I think about how it changed the entire song, the entire thought process. Bridges don't just change the song, they change how you literally understand it. So, hey, if life feels off key right now, maybe you're just standing in the bridge. So, don't scroll, okay? This episode is for you, and we're going to talk about that right after this. Yes, welcome to Power Nap Live. I see folks in the comments already. Hi, hey there. Good morning from Arkansas. I see that. If you are not live in the comments, then come on over to YouTube. That's where I definitely am able to see all your comments in real time, and I want to see them. I want you to say hi. Come on, stop by and join our community, because this is Power Nap Live, where we rest on purpose, where we think on purpose, and where we live on purpose. Okay. But today we are talking about bridges, all right? Not the ones that we drive over, okay? The ones that you survive, all right? In music, and I love music. I love to sing. I love to listen to music. Music literally is the soundtrack of our lives, right? I think I talked about that before in some other thing. But in music, the bridge is the part that sounds different, right? It feels different from the song, and it helps the author or the singer or whoever wrote it to be able to tell the story in a new way, right? And our lives each have bridges too. They have moments that don't really fit our normal rhythm. So there are seasons that we go through that just don't sound like ourselves. We also have experiences that interrupt our literal life pattern. So if life feels really strange to you right now, I'm here to tell you that you may not be broken, okay? You may just be becoming. If life feels a little off key right now, you may just be standing in your bridge. So here's the thing, we have to realize that sometimes life doesn't sound like us, okay? The bridge of a song always feels unfamiliar. That's the point. As we're bopping along, right? It doesn't sound like the verse that you've mastered. When we're singing along to all of our favorite folks, by the time you get close to the end of the song, you already kind of know the chorus. That's what makes you want to continue to sing. But the bridge is there to shake things up, right? It doesn't feel like the chorus that you've gotten comfortable in repeating. Bridges often sound like, or our life bridges kind of sound like, oh, I don't recognize myself. I don't recognize my rhythm. I don't feel like I'm in it, right? I don't recognize the season of life that I'm in. But It's important that you don't lose yourself in the bridge. It's important, but we can't lose ourselves there. You have to meet a deeper vision for your overall song that you're composing, right? Bridges are where comfort kind of goes to die and clarity gets to be born, right? It reinvigorates us around the song once we go back to what things looked like, but we needed that disruption. We often fight the bridges of our lives, right? We love when the song is going great. We love when the chorus is replaying, when we're winning, when our shoulders are shimmying in success. But we often fight bridges because they feel incredibly risky. I wonder how many songwriters have sat in their rooms. I watched a really cool show. I watched a really cool show on Netflix a while ago, and it wasn't about. Oftentimes, we watch people who are fighting to be the singer, but it was such a cool show because I was watching people who were fighting to be the songwriters. They were going through their creative process of how they would create a song, right? And what happens when that happens. And it was just so cool to see how they would think about the words, how they would invoke feeling, how they wanted to do that, right? But oftentimes, as we're in our own bridge and it sounds different, it can feel risky. Some of the most risky words that happen in songs happen in their bridges, right? It's when the song doesn't repeat what we already know to be true about the chorus, about the verses, right? It takes us somewhere else. Songwriters literally, when they write bridges, they ask us to feel something new, whether it's a new tempo, whether it's new, stronger words of the song, but it literally asks us to feel something new. But listen, right? You don't grow in repetition. You actually grow in transition. Some of the strongest songs that we've ever listened to, they don't just capture us. The beauty of it is not just that it continues the same chorus over and over, but that it also leaves space for a transition that often happens through the bridge. So some of you, I know I've been there too and have been there a little bit this week, right? Are praying or thinking or hoping or however you do it to skip the bridge. But what you're really asking to skip when you do that is the transformation. You can't stay in the chorus forever and call it evolution. If you do, then you just baby shark. do. Does baby shark have a bridge? I don't even know because I don't have kids. So I don't have to listen to the whole song. But one of the things that makes it as viral as it was because it had repetition, but it didn't have any transition, nothing grows. We don't know what happens actually with grandma and baby and all the sharks. All we know is that they do. Okay. So it's important for us to realize that evolution is what happens in the bridges of our lives. The bridge is so important because it also makes the chorus hit different. It makes the chorus hit different. After the bridge, the chorus of a song always comes back. It always does. The same words, the same melody, maybe a little higher, but it always comes back. But you know what happens after that? It hits harder. Have you ever been? No, wait, hold on. I'm about to tell on myself, okay? I'm about to tell on myself a little bit. Have you ever been in the club? Now, I ain't been in a long time, okay? But whatever I'm saying, have you ever been somewhere where you're listening to the song? The bridge comes, right? Then it's electrifying what happens after that piece. I just went to a John Legend concert not that long ago, right? He has some of the most beautiful bridges in songs to me, right? But after that bridge, everyone, even if they hadn't been up on their feet before, would come back in because that is the part of the song. Nothing changes. The chorus is the same. But what changed was that we went through the bridge, that we heard the bridge, right? It hits harder. It feels so much deeper to us. I think about like I said, John Legend, Ordinary People. If you've ever heard that song, it's a beautiful song, right? We're just ordinary people. Now, I don't know if my mic is going to pick that up, right? But he goes into the bridge and he goes, maybe we'll live and learn. Maybe we'll crash and burn. Maybe we'll stay. Maybe we'll leave. Maybe you'll return. Okay, he does that. But there's something about when he comes back to we're just ordinary people that takes you to a place that the rest of the song just didn't, right? And it's because the bridge allowed you to be able to understand what was happening differently. It helped you understand what was happening differently. And that literally is life. We don't appreciate peace. We don't appreciate peace the same until after chaos. Now, I'm not speaking chaos on you. I'm just saying we don't appreciate peace as much until after we have experienced some chaos. And you know, I'm telling the truth. You don't understand strength the same until you've experienced your weakest points. You don't hear joy or feel it the same way until after you have experienced grief. The bridge doesn't change the song. It doesn't. It just changes the listener. Literally, it just changes the listener. You didn't go through that season to be broken. You went through it to be able to hear life with new ears. You remember in kindergarten, people would say, put your listening ears on? That's what the bridge does for us. The bridge of our lives allows us, hopefully, if we harness it, if we use it right, to put our listening ears on. Because you went through it so that you can hear life with new ears. I want us to remember today that rest is a bridge. Okay, let me say it gently. Put your hand right here into mine. Rest is a bridge. Okay, it interrupts our grind, it disrupts our normal pace. It also forces us to hear ourselves differently. And some of y'all are exhausted because you keep looping the same verse. You keep looping the same verse, the same habits, the same hustle. Whew. Unsubscribe. I have unsubscribed to my subscription to Hustle, okay? And to the same pressure. New year, new you, isn't you still worried about the same stuff? Rest is what creates space for the bridge moment. It's a moment where your life is able to be reinterpreted, right? Rest is not just quitting the song of life that we have. It's literally all about shifting and changing the sound. That's it. That's why we've got to have the bridge, and rest is a bridge. So let's talk a little bit about leadership in the bridge, right? Leaders, this part is for you, which is everybody, right? But you know, I talk about rest, I talk about leadership. So how you move in the bridge is what determines what kind of leader you literally become. Bridges are there because they teach leaders to do a few things: to listen before reacting, to rest before rushing, and also to reflect before deciding. If you lead in repetition, you burn people out. If you start to lead in transition, you will start to build people up. Hold on. You know, have you said something that felt good to you too? Y'all be out here preaching sometimes, okay? Because if you lead in repetition, you are going to burn people out. But if you lead in transition, you are going to build people up. That's what we're here for, to build people up, right? Great leaders don't rush the bridge. They lead through it because they know that the bridge is necessary for the song to be beautiful, for the song to hit harder, for the chorus when it finally comes back, for it to be magical to people's ears. So here's the thing. I said all that to say, if you are in your bridge right now, if you are obviously each of us are the composer. Well, I don't want to say that, but if you're literally in the bridge of your life right now, if life feels unfamiliar, if your rhythm feels off, if nothing sounds the way that it used to, I need you to hear me say that you're not broken. You're becoming. I say that a whole lot because this really is true. What feels like confusion may actually be composition. And composition to songs, as we know, is one of the most incredibly important pieces of how it becomes beautiful. Something bigger than you is writing something new into your song. So I don't want you to rush it. I don't want you to fight it. And I definitely don't want you to mute it. Okay? Because when the chorus comes back, when that chorus finally comes back, you are going to feel a way that you've never felt before. So if today feels different, if you feel different, if life sounds different, I want to encourage you to smile. I know that sounds wild to say that, but I want to encourage you just to smile today. Usually I ask you to think about questions, to do all this, but today I'm just going to encourage you to smile because you're not in the breakdown. You're literally just in the bridge. The bridge does not end songs. There are no songs that I know of that have ever ended on the bridge. But the bridge is what makes every song that we play in our minds, that we love, whether it's gospel genre, whether it's R&B, whether it's rap, wherever it is, the bridge is what makes those songs unforgettable. They make it unforgettable. And I promise you that your bridge will make things for you unforgettable. All right, folks, I cannot believe it, but our time is up today. I will see you next Sunday, 10 o'clock Central Standard Time, right here. If you did not watch this on YouTube, you are missing out. Please come over, subscribe, be in the comments. I see folks like, how's it going? I see Emily, of course, in the comments. Hello. Willie is always there. Absolutely. What a benediction. I love that. All right. So listen, until I see you next week, make sure that you make good decisions and rest like you mean it. Bye, folks.